Welcome, YouTube community. This is Robert, the Comic Book G-Spot, back for you again another Saturday. And now that I got you, I got some special stuff for you tonight. And here you go. So my book for this week that I've been reading, I've really been getting into this title. It's called Fatale. It's actually very well done. I'm really shocked. Where have I been? What rock was I under? This came out a couple years ago, and there's a 1 through 24. I just got to issue 3. It's very good by Ed Brubaker, Sean Phillips. The Unseen, the Horror of the Unseen. What's really cool about this is in the back of this, they have some history of some literature. And the really cool thing about this that caught me totally off guard is there's a whole thing about H.P. Lovecraft in the back of this book. One of my favorites. So without further ado, I have none other than boom. Yo, buddy, what's up? How you
What's
doing?
up, Robert? Not much going on.
Cool.
This is not my book of the week. This is just something good, nice to look at. But this is my book of the week. Is going to be Everglade Angels. It's about a female softball team that takes a wrong turn in the Everglades in Florida. It's like a swampland, so it's probably like a wrong turn-esque story, like where these serial killer types are coming after these girls. And pretty much the next issue, it looks like the girls are going to fight back pretty much.
Oh,
so it's going to be
cool.
Pretty interesting. So, yep.
So we also have something else tonight, don't we? We have a couple things. We have a couple surprises, I think, don't we?
Yeah. I think so. You never tell me.
Yeah, everybody out there, I have two co-hosts tonight. Something special planned for you guys tonight. I hope you like this. I'm going to put a little disclaimer out there. Everybody has their own personal opinions about everything on how they love to collect and what they collect and how they collect it. We all have different kinds of objectives about the way things are collected, from what companies they are. Everybody has their issues. Everybody has their things. You're going to hear a lot of stories tonight about all of us and our own experiences. So please, if you don't like what you're watching here, go somewhere else. But as a community as a whole, hopefully you can learn something new. If you're new to this channel, like, sub everybody up on this panel, sub everybody down in the links. I got it all down there. You just click on the newest stuff. And I update it weekly, you guys, so you'll get everybody's updates. So without further ado, my other co-host, and here you go. Yo, buddy, what's up?
Hey, man. So I'm John from Marvelous Comics. If you haven't found me on Instagram, I'm Marvelous Comics 73. Now that I got you with the hook, let me show you my book. So,
there you go.
All right. So mine's an older book, but a newer slab. So that is the new CBCS slab, and it has got a great book in it to read, and you can find that book relatively cheap. But it's Gotham by Gaslight. That is the first Elseworld series from DC back in, I believe, 89. Yep. Beautiful. But it's a great story. It's a great old story between Batman and Jack the Ripper. Definitely worth a read, especially if you are a Batman fan and you haven't read that one. Go find it, pick it up, read it online. It is definitely worth the time. They did a movie after it, but read the book. Don't wait.
Read the book. Yes, read the book.
Yeah.
So really quick shout out there. I want to say thank you, gentlemen, for being here. I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
now, do we have something else coming on tonight?
I think so.
Like I said, you never tell me half the time. So
I hope so, because it's 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I know. First, I want to put a big shout out for everybody that's in the chat tonight. First up on the list here, we got Boy Who Had 7, buddy. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Downright Nerdy Podcast is here. Thank you very much. Not Near Mint. Rob, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for being here. Monty, Splash Page, my brother. Nice to see you. We have Cap'n and Comics in the house. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Simon R. Discovery Bay. What's up, buddy? How you doing? Thanks for being here. Much love. Appreciate it. I even have, oh boy, Miss Cheese in the house. My honey. I love you, sweetheart. Hold on. What do we have down here? There we go. We're caught up now. And we got John Comes Kids. Yo. What's up? Okay. On with the show. So if I don't get to you in the chat, I'll get back to you guys. But right now I want to get on with our guest for tonight. And here we go. 1, 2, 3. welcome to the show.
What is wrong with you people? It's 1 o'clock in the morning. You wake me up out of bed. I was hoping I overslept. Here I am.
That's,
Right? I don't know who's on, but it's Adam from Instagram, City Limits Comics. They tell me, bring on a book. I'm like, bring a book? What the? I mean, I have to go shuffling through my comic den. I'm like, what the? I don't even read this shit. I just like the covers. I'm like, so here, we're going to use Spider-Man, right? ASM 50 is the
Nice.
of Kingpin. It's actually my favorite Spider-Man book. I am not a Spider-Man fan at all,
Beautiful.
but I'm a big Kingpin fan, and this is his first appearance. Spider-Man loses his powers. He throws his stuff in a dumpster. It's an iconic panel. I'm into it. Guys, read it. They're not just pictures. Make sure we're reading our books. This community is crazy. They love picture books, but there's actually words in these things. Let's try to read them.
Yeah, Adam, thank you so much for being here, brother. Awesome.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. And thank
Good
you.
morning.
Thank you.
They got a tape pull. Imagine I tape pulled this thing on camera. I would just pick my whole phone up and just throw it. I'm like, good night, guys. Good night. Enjoy
that's a
yourself.
Steve Whiting move if I ever heard one.
Yes.
Steve likes to do that.
No crap. I'm at a con one time and I'm looking for a Hulk #1. Could you imagine a Hulk 1? So I find one. There's a raw one, and this person's on Instagram, so we'll just keep it no names. But he's working the booth with his father. He's like, let my father show you the book. I gotta run off. I gotta do something. I'm like, all right, buddy, go. He's like, runs off. His father's like shaking. He pulls out the book. I'm like, how much you want for it? He's like, $7,000. It's a little rough. I'm like, you know what? I'm not really sure. So he's like, all right, let me just put it back in before my son gets back. So as he's putting it in, the tape hits the cover.
Oh
And
no!
I'm with my buddy, and I'm like, and we're all just staring at each other. And I'm like, and he's like starting to rip it off. He's like, oh my God, I gotta get this off. I'm like, maybe you should just. He's like, I was like, he just tape pulled the Hulk one. I'm done. Good for you. Good for you. I saw it up on eBay like a month later. I was like, oh, I know that book.
One of my biggest issues with Scotch tape. I hate Scotch tape on my books.
I love it. It's like living on the edge every time you pull it out. I love it.
How you been, buddy? Loved your last video you did with the CDC. Is it waterproof? I mean, come on. I know.
So,
It held up.
is it waterproof?
The book, it held up under water balloon fight damage.
Yes.
Good for them. Good for them.
So there's a lot of talk in the community, and it's you brought it up to attention. There's been a few other people that have brought to attention, our attention, things that have happened to us as collectors collecting CGC, any kind of graded books and stuff. And yeah, I mean it goes on and on and on about it. You guys have something to say?
CGC books?
So
Anyone?
far,
Oh, I do.
yes.
I actually got one that actually says Vampirella 23. Okay, 19. Okay, it's from 473, but the top of the slab doesn't say that. The top of the slab says Vampirella 19, 8.5.
Listen, okay, they got to cover all grounds. You understand? That's what it's going to be when you send it back in. They have it already. They're like, oh, we'll just switch it out real quick. 8.5 now.
Yep.
Or
No.
Yeah, you're expecting them to take the top label and make it an 8.0, but in reality, they're going to go, oh, this was supposed to be a whole different book. We're just going to swap it out.
Yeah.
I mean, listen.
that's been happening a lot.
Yeah.
It's been. But you know what the problem is? You know what the problem is, and it's unfortunate. CGC has taken on way too much at this point. Could you imagine being a grader? Could you imagine being a grader? It has got to be the worst job. You go to work every single day. There's 1,000 books you have to grade. You got to sit here and look through all these comic books. You think they're going to sit there? Oh, look at that. They can't be. You can't be at this point. You're just eyeballing it. You have to be eyeballing it. It's just too much work for you to get the job done properly. That's what I really believe, and I think that's why the community is seeing what they see.
Because what's it supposed to be? 2 to 3 people look at each book?
Yeah, that's
like the whole process, right? They look at it, the next person looks at it, the next person looks at it, then the final grader, I think, gives it the stamp
Right.
of approval.
No, they actually. I actually heard a story that they all three of them come together at the end, and they actually have to agree to whatever whatever a grade is or something like that. If one of them's off by a little bit, that they're gonna ask him, why are you off? Why is this off by a grade or something like that? So that's what I heard.
Well,
So I
the
don't know if
process was supposed to be, all right, so this person grades, and then their notes are kept to themselves. And that person grades, and their notes are kept to themselves. And then they all come back and they all
right.
compare.
Right, that's what I heard.
Yeah. So
I mean, do we know if this is still happening?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really hear people talk about this anymore from CGC. I can't ask CGC anything anymore, so I don't know. But I'm just saying, like, I don't hear of the graders talking about this anymore. It's not like known. It's kind of like something that everyone thinks is happening, but is it really still happening?
right.
I don't know. Does anybody know? Here?
Yeah, one of my ideas on one of the forums a long time ago was to put the to have like a graded by number. So you assign a number to a grader.
Right.
So then if you get a book back and it's like that one to where they're all messed up, you can go, okay, you can at least go back to a grader and go,
right.
All right, go talk to like how you used to get the tag in your underwear. So it's an underwear tag for graders. Inspected by, number 626.
They're just missing so much stuff.
Here's the other thing too. There was another YouTuber just earlier today that posted a video for CBC. And he got a signed book, a gold label, sent it in, had it pressed, and it came back 1 point lower than what it actually originally was. And he made a phone call live, actually got a hold of somebody to talk to, did it live on YouTube. And they talked to him and said, "Oh, we'll have to get back to you on that. We'll send you an email, send you a confirmation, figure out what happened there."
That's another problem, because how can you call up, tell them you're upset with a grade, and then them address that grade? No, you're a third-party grader.
Yeah.
You're supposed to that's it. Even if I called you up, you should be like, well, guess what? That's what I assigned it. It's not my problem. I'm a third-party grader. I'm doing this it was originally because we, as comic book collectors, would go and want to buy something at a con, and then two people are sitting here arguing about, is that the right grade? Is this the grade? What's the price? So your job is just to assign it and give it to us, and then we hash that out. But if I can call up CBCS or CGC or anyone and say, listen, I'm not happy with this grade. Can you take it back and take another look at it? And if they take that book back and assign it now a different grade, so guess what? I'm influencing my own book. The problem that we wanted rectified to this company. So what's going on here? I don't understand.
There's so many people out there that have told us that they've sent in books and the same book has not come back. Or they had the book, they pressed the book themselves, had it re-slabbed, and it came down a point or two. No way. Or it's the opposite. But that should not be happening. Period.
Oh, absolutely not. I just got a DM. You don't understand. I get DMs all day. Like this guy, he's always messaging me. And I'm like, you don't understand. You're getting pushed down to the bottom. I'm getting DMs all day long. And it's all issues. You know what I'm saying? It's like, did you see what CGC did to me? This happened. This happened. I finally had somebody who defends CGC every single time I post. The other day I get a DM from him. Okay, it finally happened. I can complain about CGC. I'm like, well, finally. He sent in a book, I think twice. I'm not sure, twice, maybe 3 times, but it came back 3 different grades each time.
Yep.
And the last time he had it pressed by them, and it went down a half a point. So it's just when it comes to grading, I mean, I think we're at the point as collectors that we're pretty good at grading our own books. This is the problem. So now when we see a book, we're like, well, it's a 9.8, but I see spine ticks, I see corner damage. It's a different time. Like we don't really, I don't know if it's even necessary for us to have grading anymore at this point.
It's terrifying to think about, though. If you have a book that's like, say, a $20,000 book, you're going to send that to CGC? No, I don't think so. I'm not sending that through the mail, no matter what you put on it.
That's like, why do people buy 9.8 graded comic books? I mean, you're really going to, you buy a whole 181, right?
Yep.
9.6. You buy a 9.6, you're saving yourself like $30,000.
Exactly.
What what are you kidding me? I could take that 9.6. I could probably submit it. I forget who I was talking to. They got 9.6 on it. I can't remember what book it was. But I said, listen, if I was you, I would just keep on sending it back in until I get that 9.8. I said, you might get 9.4 at one point. You might get 9.6. But eventually, I bet you get 9.8. And I would do it for a 30,000 bump. That's it.
Right.
Why wouldn't you?
So I have one question, a couple questions, but my main one is, Adam, how long have you been collecting comic books, and how did you get into this kind of a discussion? What made you do what you do? Because I love
What made you so angry?
No, I love what he does because he tells the truth, and that's what people need to hear. And some people don't like listening to the truth. That's sad.
Yeah, I'm a very passionate human. Okay, so how this happened? I started collecting comics back in the 90s. I used to go with the comic. I used to go to like a card store with my father, and every weekend what I would do is I'd pick out a comic, right? Take it off the old rack while he was playing Lotto. I would take it home. I'd draw off of it. So I was always collecting. I was always grabbing books. Death of Superman. I remember riding my bicycle up to my local comic book shop, grabbing one of those when it first came off the rack. So I always collected. But also, like, I was heavy into wrestling, collegiate wrestling in high school, college. So I was always training. So eventually it just kind of fell off as I became like 13, 14, 15. I would buy here and there, but I would never like dive really deep into it. And then what happened to all of us is I started getting money, right? I had a real job. I had real money. And now there were comic books that I remember as a kid when I was like, oh, I really wanted this one, especially like a Fantastic Four #1. I remember it was always up behind the desk at the local comic shop. It was way too much money as a kid, right? Obviously. So when I became an adult and I started collecting again, I said, wow, I really want that book. Now, how I got back into collecting big time was, as you guys know, like I'm a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, head instructor. One of my students, Holiby, right? Holiby's Collectibles, that crazy son of a bitch. he was doing an auction one night, and I was on my school page for jiu-jitsu, and he popped up. I said, what the hell is this kid doing? So I looked, and he's over there doing his auction, right? $10, $20. I'm like, all right. He had up the first black suit Spider-Man 252.
Yep.
So I was like, oh, I really want this. I always liked the symbiote suit. I was like, you know what? I'm going to do some bidding. So whatever, I kept on bidding. I probably overpaid by like $50. No big deal. I got the book, and then that was it. I started diving right back into it.
Right.
That's my collecting story.
Nice.
But I've been collecting forever. I've been looking at comics forever. I still have my Nightfall run from a kid. I still have it right here next to me. I have all my Death of Supermans. I have my 500 poly bags with everybody else. Gotta have
So, are your kids into comic books? Do your kids like reading comic books?
Reading?
Oh, well, yeah.
I love reading. I read I subscribe to Marvel Unlimited. That's all I've freaking been doing is reading.
I mean, your kids, do they like
my kid? Oh, yeah, you know what my kid likes?
Yeah.
Oh my God, my daughter loves these things. So if you guys ever have these laying around, nobody wants them, right?
Oh, nice.
Just send them my way. She's like obsessed. She loves reading these things. I said, oh,
Awesome.
So if you see any of those laying around and you don't want them, you can send them her way. She loves them. So my daughter likes it. My son likes gaming. He's 7 years old. He's playing on a Switch. He's pretty good at it.
Yeah.
So, but the girls are smarter. The girls can read. My son's like, I don't even know what reading is. Especially after quarantine. Could you imagine? Kindergarten, the kid gets quarantined.
Yeah.
You think I'm going to sit there and teach him fundamentals of reading? I was like, this is terrible. This is going to be terrible.
Yeah. There's a reason I'm not a teacher.
No.
I became the one this year. Let me tell you, terrible.
So, what is it? Jeff, got a question for our guest tonight?
Since he's a trainer of fighters, anybody that we might know that you trained before?
All right, so I have me and my professor. My professor is Joe Scarola. He was Matt Sever's first black belt. That's who I train under.
Okay.
So me and him, we do the cornering. I do more of the lower guys. Like I've trained with his name's Nick Fury. He's fought in Bellator. I've cornered him. Our big fighter, which is my professor's actual big fighter, is Gregor Gillespie. He's in the UFC. I've trained with him. I've trained with Touch and Go, which is Randy Rude Boy. If you guys know him, Randy Brown.
Yeah.
I've trained with him, not his corner, but I've trained with him. I've trained with a lot of these different fighters. Andre the Bull Harrison, he was the Professional Fighter League champion. Trained with him, great guy. So I've been around a lot of them. I think I met all these guys. But that's basically me.
Cool.
I do all the groundwork. They come to me for groundwork.
Hey.
You want to learn how to break people's arms on the ground? I got it. I got you covered.
Beautiful. So let me ask this weird question. I don't know if you is and I'm sorry for all you wrestling fans out there, but is wrestling real?
Wrestling. Is wrestling real? Is wrestling real? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. WWF, as we like to call it back in our day, right? Yep. WWF before it became the Wildlife Refuge.
Yeah.
You know, that's hard work. Ever see those guys try to do that stuff? Those guys are like really putting into work.
They're great acrobats.
Is it real? What they're doing is real. Is the damage being inflicted real? Probably not.
Very entertaining though.
It is entertaining. I used to watch it with the Undertaker and Kabbalah.
Yes, love the Undertaker.
When I watched it back in the 80s, I never liked WWF, but in my area, it was the NWA, the National Wrestling Alliance. So we had.
Listen, I was born probably around that time. Okay.
So we had the Rock and Roll Express and the Midnight Express, and that's where the Four Horsemen started. So the original four. And
that was right before, right? That's right before it became WWF.
That was before all those little ones got absorbed in.
Yeah.
But that was to me, that's back when it was still good, and then it was wrestling got kind of ruined, I think, when McMahon took the money from China for her centerfold.
Yeah.
And then everybody said, okay, well, I'm no longer that name, I'm me.
Yeah.
Because he said, she came back from her Playboy centerfold spread, and he said, okay. He's like, so how much did they pay you? And she's like, $5,000. He's like, well, give me my money because you posed as China, and I own China. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, everybody else, but all his named characters at that point went, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm Steve Austin. I'm not that guy anymore. I own the name Steve Austin.
Right. I am my person. Right.
Right.
So
and that took all the characters out, and the characters were cool.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. So what does your wife think about all this? Your collecting habits, your comic books?
Well, well, good thing we're separated, so that's good.
Oh, okay.
So we're good. We're good right now.
Okay.
Unlike other people who have to answer to these people. But it's good. So I'm good to go.
Cool. John?
Yep.
More questions?
Oh yeah. Okay. So what's your view on Go Collect on the sites that basically? So here's my view. All right. So you can buy on eBay.
Right.
If you get a lowball slab on eBay, and you think, yeah, I did great. I bought this for $100 less than its value. It then will eventually filter over to the site that everybody's going off of, which then takes that value and drops it because you bought it for $100 less.
Now, what do I think of this site? I use Go Collect all the time. So, I mean,
I'd say I have to as well because it's what everybody bases off of.
Yeah, I know. Especially when we go to cons. Like when I go to cons, they're like, "Oh, well, let me see what the last sale was." I remember one time I was trying to sell my Fantastic Four #4 signed by Stan Lee, and there's not many out there.
No.
So I was at a con, and he's like, "Well," I'm like, "Yeah, you want to buy this?" So he's like, "Let me see what the last sale was." Well, of course, the last sale was a year and a half ago, and it was mine. I'm like,
Oh.
yeah, that's my. I'm like, yeah, no, that's my book. It's like,
Right.
No, I'm not going to give you the same amount that I paid for it.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
That's the problem. That's the problem with like Go Collect, eBay, for sellers. Like if you have to sell a book and they're looking at the last sale, it's hard to flip. Like if you buy a book, get a great steal on eBay, try to flip it, and they're like, well, the last sale was this amount. You're like, oh, well, that's mine. And guess what? You're not going to pay the same price that I pay for. You have to remember, prices are only what people are willing to pay. Just because right? Just because I paid something for it doesn't mean anything. I can set my price for whatever it is. You don't have to buy it. I don't have to buy it. But if you want to buy it and the supply is there and you're demanding it and you want it, take it for that price. No one's forcing you to buy it at any price.
Right.
So as far as that goes, I mean, I think it's a good tool. I have no problem with them.
But it's just a tool. It's not the Bible. So
oh yeah, of course not.
I mean that's the thing that is hard to get past people is this is the
gives you an average.
It's a guideline. Everybody has the guidelines at work. They call them the rules, but they're really just guidelines. You're supposed to.
It's just a guideline. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, who's gonna listen? Nothing's set in stone, right? Like I said, it's on Go Collect, but that doesn't mean anything. There's a lot of things that are on Go Collect right now that are selling for a lot more than what they're on Go Collect for. That's for sure.
Give me a little example.
Anything Miles Morales.
Anything Miles Morales.
Yeah.
Not $1,000 worth. No way.
I got that great steal though. Did you see my last unboxing?
I did. It was awesome.
That was unbelievable. I got that for $33.
Oh yeah. Like almost your whole run.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. Nobody was bidding. It was like, it wasn't even late night. It was in the afternoon. No one was bidding. I just took the bid last second. There it was. So good for me.
Like we were talking about speculating. Do you think there's a lot of market manipulation with comic books and slabs?
I mean, it's too hard to prove though. It's really. I mean, I'm sure it happens.
Oh well.
I gotta show Adam something. Adam, I did an experiment.
Oh yeah. You'll laugh at this one.
This is with me and Odd Wolf, okay?
And Comic Jabroni and a couple of them.
Jabroni was on. We were on a Get the Weekend show one night on the weekend, and Odd Wolf goes, "Hey, I bet you got something that no one of you guys have," and he throws this book up like this, Yarn Man, okay? Yarn Man, all right? So, hey, I got an idea. Why don't we do an experiment tonight? Everybody on the panel, buy this book. Go buy it. You can buy it for $1. Let's just see what happens. Let's do this experiment. So this has been going on for 3 weeks. I shit you not.
Why didn't you get me involved? I would have loved buying Yarn Man.
The book is up to $100 right now on eBay.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Go look.
Go look yourself. Yeah, it is.
What was the first?
Your butt off.
What was the first sale?
Your butt off. You won't find one for less than $15.
What did you first buy it at? What was the first sale at?
Like 3 weeks ago, probably 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. And how much was it? How much was it then?
$1.
$1. $1. Anyway, everybody says it's going to bite me in the ass, but the thing is, I'm trying to prove a point.
Wait, why is it going to bite you in the ass though?
No, they think it's going to bite me in the ass because they think it's a cruel. Yes, it's a joke, but I've been saying it since the very beginning. This is an experiment.
But it's not a joke. It's actually a very serious thing.
And it's actually happening. That's the weirdest thing.
Yeah. I would buy Yarn Man. You would force me to buy Yarn Man. Although now good thing my daughter didn't see that, because if she wanted it right now, I'd kick the shit out of you.
I wanted to see that.
I'm like $100. No, Yarn Man. How did this happen?
I think I posted
the reason why we do things late at night.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
I think I posted he looked like a crackhead Ernie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It did. Yeah. It's ridiculous though. This is an experiment. And I swear, dude, it's unbelievable.
And think about it, it's just you guys. Now think about if you had a huge platform, what you could do.
Yeah. That's what? Yeah.
Well, but I was saying now go back to why did that whole experiment start?
Oh.
Do you feel comfortable going into that?
The experiment has started because of all of the manipulation that's been going on in the markets.
Right.
An example. Right. Okay, perfect example. Spider-Man. This is kind of what started it. The Miles Morales, #1, Ultimate Fallout.
Yep.
$6,000 for a 9.8 modern book, I think is ridiculous. All right, that's ridiculous. That's just stupid.
I love
$6,000, you could buy some really rare old books for that kind of money. That's just
$6,000. You can buy a car.
yeah, exactly that too. But you see my point, and that's the kind of stupidity-ness that I see going on a lot of, and it's just wow. And people ask me, I get people asking me all the time. And
But
people ask me the same
one
question.
thing is, Robert, one thing is, nobody's talking about why those books are shooting up in the first place.
Yeah. Yep.
Well,
Yeah.
Go ahead. Tell them.
The whole reason those books are shooting up in the first place are because of what our little incidents that are happening now. What's happening now is the Black Lives Matter stuff is kind of, you know what I mean, manipulating the market just a little bit.
Well, I did a whole breakdown of the Miles Morales situation, and
Right.
it all started with the Marvel preview, right? 95. It started with the $2,000 book. So this sale was made. Then the Comic Tom show and Key Collector, they report on it. So everyone knows about this sale, right? I didn't know, no one knew about it beforehand, but it happened. It happened under the radar. No one knew about it. It's reported on their show. That's number one. So now you have this huge explosion, like, holy crap, Miles Morales preview. So then like, what's his real first appearance? All right, Ultimate Fallout 4. So now what's the next thing that happens? Next thing that happens is, right, we have the whole Black Lives Matter movement goes on. So now we have Black Lives Matter movement. We have the Marvel preview. Speculation is going through the roof. And then what happens? The PS5 reveal of Miles video game. So now it's still talking. And it's piling. It's compounding. Also, on top of that, Miles Morales is not a bad character at all. He's actually I personally like him better than Peter Parker. I'm not a fan. I like Miles Morales. So I think people start to realize, wait a minute, if you start reading those books, they're not bad books at all. He's a great character.
No.
I think what happened was people have just didn't acknowledge him for all this time. And it just compounded. It's like a butterfly effect. It kept on compounding.
Right.
All this happened. Now everyone's like, wait, this is, speculation. The people that actually read books are like, this is not bad character at all. The movements that are going on, it's a whole like perfect storm of events that bring these books up to this point. That's what I thought. That's how I looked at the whole breakdown of Miles Morales. But $6,000 is a lot of money.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. I could have picked myself up a nice Vaporella 1 for that. You know that?
Listen, you can pick up a lot of things for that. All right. Daredevil 1, X-Men 1, Fantastic Four 1.
But then you get back into the same thing you were talking before. It's only worth what someone's willing to pay for it. If somebody's willing to pay that, rather than go back and get one of the classics that will hold its value, rather than playing with that stock market price of the modern book.
And it's just, like I say it all the time, it's going to happen. The comic book market is going to implode on itself sooner or later. I honestly believe that. I don't think these prices are going to keep up the way they are. That's just my personal opinion. I don't know if we're going to see these prices for the remainder of time. People who buy these books and it's so funny, like when I see books like modern books that come up, I'm like, I mean, you know how many books, are you really making that much money? How much money, are you getting rich off of this thing? Are you really going to make that much money hustling comic books?
Right.
Few have made big bucks, but the average person, like all these auctions on Instagram, this and that, I've done auctions. They're a lot of work. I stopped doing them.
Exactly. They are a lot of work.
Packing it up and all that stuff. And then especially I started talking about talking about the things I've talked about. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do auctions anymore either, because it kind of looks like, I'm getting all this, publicity. I want all this attention so I could sell comic books, when that wasn't the case. So I completely stopped auctions to begin with. But they're a lot of work. And how much money are you really making?
Right.
People, and it's funny because the comic book community, we're not all businessmen. They probably look at like the auctions, right? You can make $2,000 in an auction, but you have to slash what you paid for the books. How much profit are you really making?
Exactly.
And you're just recycling. I think you're just recycling your own money for the most part. You're not making that much profit, $300, $400, $500 maybe for the client, but you have to do it every single night. Oh, kill me.
Well, I have to say, Adam, I for one really appreciate what you do on your show, Instagram. I always look forward to it. You're awesome. I just want to say that.
It's just I wake up sometimes. I just wake up and I'm like, oh. That's why like I have no consistency. I have no like real show dates, time.
Okay.
It's like I wake up and like, oh, this is like bothering me. You know, I'll be in the shower, scrub myself, looking like, you know what? Let's talk about. I really want to talk about this. I'm gonna make a video. Kids, get in the room. You come out of here. I'm gonna beat your butt. That's what I tell I'm like, just stay here and be quiet. Michael the other day came out. He started peeing on camera. I don't know if anyone saw that one. That was the best. He goes into the bathroom. All of a sudden, you hear. I'm like, that's just Michael, just peeing in the background. No big deal. But I just call it how I see it. Because I have no ties to anyone. I don't have to befriend any nothing.
Sure.
No one's paying me. I don't have a YouTube channel. I'm not getting money for that. I'm not getting money from companies, from anyone. I could say whatever the hell I want, and then not have to worry about it. Oh God, if I say this, they're gonna stop paying me.
And that's what I try to do. Show on my show. I want people to do themselves. Tell the truth. You know, you don't have to put up a front on everything. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not always right, but
no.
Whatever.
And what you're saying makes a lot of sense, and I agree with that. When CBCS had come out with their slabs, I don't know if you follow on their forum or not.
No.
So they released. They had sent out books to different YouTube shows for them to be reviewed.
Mm-hmm.
The very first review that came up, I loved it. The guy was detailed. I'm not going to say who it was. I mean, he broke it down. It's like this is this dimension. This is everything that's different about it. Now I'm going to compare it to a CGC case, and he compared it with a CGC case.
I saw that one. Yep.
It got pulled down.
Yeah.
Oh, did it?
It's no longer there, dude.
Why?
I don't know. It was the best review that I'd seen for it, and it's gone. I went back to watch it again. It's not there.
Like the YouTuber, he's an IG guy too, right?
He took it.
Yeah.
I wonder why did he take that? That was a great review. That's when he was comparing them. He had the Amazing Fantasy 15, right?
Yeah.
Inside the slab.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I wonder why he took it. I'm gonna message him. Message him why.
I have a guess. I have a guess why.
I have a guess why too. So
yeah, I have a guess why too. So
I don't.
I want to hear it. Guess why, guys? Come on.
Okay. See, what I think is CGC got in contact with him, and yeah, that's what I think. He's got in contact.
Adam,
take it down.
I was curious about the same discussion we're having here. Adam, did they send you a cease and desist order?
Me,
Stop.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Could you please tell the public tell us about that? Found that very disturbing.
I might be overly aggressive sometimes.
That's okay. It's okay. I can be that. I'm Italian. It's all right.
Brazilian jiu-jitsu. It's okay.
Nobody was giving me answers. Nobody was giving me answers, damn it.
Yep.
I was emailing them every single day. I was like, listen, this, can you just give me the answer? Why did you block me? Why did you take down my comment about your turnaround times and your time and feel it necessary to remove my comment and then block? I just wanted to know. That's all I wanted to know. And nobody at CDC would give me an answer. They told me, one person, that no BS, they told me, if you agree, this is how this all started.
Yep.
This all started because during the Todd McFarlane signing, CGC put up a post that Todd McFarlane was sick and that we're gonna have to delay the signing. Not a big deal. It's really not. Obviously, if people get sick, that's not CGC's fault at all. We all agreed with that, and I understood that. But all I said was a quick little jab in the comments where basically we're used to you guys for delays, right?
Sure.
That was my comment. It was removed. I was blocked one day. So I was tagging like a day later. I was tagging CGC and I'm like, wait, did CGC take down that page? How come it's not coming up? I don't understand what's going on. So I contacted my buddy, a fellow Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt of mine, Schultze Comics. I said, Schultze, is CGC down? They're like, no. I said, they said they must have blocked you. I said, they blocked me? Are you kidding me? He's like, yeah, I think so. So I said, fine. So I got in contact with one person that I knew. I'm sure we all know her. We won't say her name, no big deal. But I got in contact with her, and she was like, yeah, we blocked you. We don't like that you left these comments. I said, there was nothing derogatory. There was nothing, no cursing. It was very, very civil and straightforward. I said, why would you block that? I said, is that CGC's practice to block people who criticize the company and then remove them, try to hide them? And she said, no. She said, listen, what I can do is if you agree to say nicer things about the company on the page, I'll unblock you. So I was like, at the time, I was like, oh, whatever. I said, I told Schultz, now this is his fault. This whole city limits ranting videos I tell us the whole time is his fault. Okay, he gets me involved in a lot of things. He tells me, he goes, I mean, if you really want to submit to CGC, I mean, yeah, go ahead. Very nonchalant. And I'm like, you're talking about a person who will die on the mat before tapping. So I'm like, but I'm not submitting to anyone. What are you talking about? He's like, well, I'm just saying. So that's how this whole ordeal started. Thank you, Matthew. And you know what else? You know what else? They got me in trouble with the Comic Tom show. Why I started going as Comic Tom. It all started when one day we're rolling. Me and Schultz, we're rolling. We're not big into drilling anymore. We just beat the hell out of each other. And it's like, we always have conversations between us. He goes, did you know? He said, I saw the other day that Comic Tom takes the Comic Karma books and he puts them inside of, he gives them away, right? Inside of the paid mystery boxes. I said, wait, what? So he takes the free comic books and puts them inside the mystery boxes that you have to pay for. I said, how is that good karma? I'm like, so then he got me started on that. Thank you, Matthew, for getting me started on that also. But it's true. I mean, it's a gray area. It's a very gray area.
Yeah, it is. It's great.
You have your mystery box. You're paying $30 for it, but he's putting the karma boxes, which he's saying, on top of the paid books. Now, the problem is you're saying what the books are worth, and it goes back to the other thing that we were talking about.
Yep. Books
are only worth what someone's going to pay for it. Yes,
yep.
I could take all these books right in front of me. I could put them together and be like, yeah, this is right here is a $200 pile. But guess what? I just made up these numbers. So if I take these books and I give them to you, and you try to sell them, you might not get $200. So
right.
How do you know what's the worth and where the free books come into play? You're paying for a free. That's when I came up with shitty city karma boxes, and I gave them away. I lost so much money. I'll just take the books, and you didn't have to pay a dime. I just gave them out just to prove a point. That's karma.
Yep.
That's how all that started.
Well, the one in the chat, Steve does that all the time.
Yep.
AOKs. Yeah.
AOK all the time.
Yeah, all the time. So
just give stuff away. Whatever. Who cares? Oh, delicious. Delicious green tea.
Yeah, well, I had a question for
Go ahead, buddy.
For City Limits. Yeah, what's your who are your favorite characters? Are you more anti-hero or heroes?
Favorite character is the Punisher, right? Frank Castle.
Nice.
Okay.
And I tell this all the time. If anyone ever hurts my children, my family, that's probably who I would become. I was just discussing this again yesterday with Matthew during our underground COVID training. I was like, you know what? If anything ever happened, you wouldn't see me for like 3 years. I would be off in the wilderness fighting with people in the Himalayan mountains, whatever it is, and I'd come back and you just see people dying all the time. I like the street level. I like. I've been reading a little Daredevil on Marvel Unlimited, which is unbelievable, by the way.
Yeah,
Daredevil, Batman, Punisher, Blade. I like Blade. People like that.
Nice.
You like the anti-hero.
The anti-hero.
Yeah, more anti-hero. I'm not big into like the Thor, the Mystic stuff. I'm like, not really. I find Hulk boring too. Does anyone find Hulk boring, or is that just me?
Here, I'm gonna put something on the chat, and I'm gonna see how you're gonna answer this. This is from Bueller. Waiting for the chat to catch up. I wish it would catch up. Here we go. Here we go. This is for you, Bueller. You want me to put it up? I'm gonna put the question up. So, what if you donated books into a Bueller box and gave them away as free? That's a gray area. I'm trying to understand the question. So if I put donated books into my Bueller box and give them away as free, that's a gray area.
Wait, is the Bueller box paid for?
remember about them. You can get them off of
A lot of the books he gets are either 50-cent then or people donate. I've donated books to Bueller before to give out to the community. And he makes Bueller boxes for like less than $20, $20 a box. That's with shipping, and they get 12 books, random books.
Yeah, of course. Anytime you're giving away free stuff that people are donating and you're making money in some sort of fashion, yeah, it's a gray area. 100%. I think it's a gray area. If someone's giving me free books, right, to donate, and you have to pay to get them, are they free books?
Right.
I mean, it's a gray area. Right? We can have a whole argument. It could be.
Sure.
They could be free.
Very true. Yep.
I mean, I'm paying for it, so I don't know if that's free. I don't understand how that works. That's the problem. Really you have to think logically, just straight out logic.
Right.
I'm giving money for something that you're saying is for free. It's a gray area. It's almost like when you do auctions and people send you free books.
You know what though? It isn't. I think he needs to reword that. A Bueller box. Okay, so it's not free. He's getting the books. Some of the books he gets for donation. He gets donated to give out. So
the people donate it, but they tell him to go. It's for the community, and stuff like that. So
those extra ones in the Bueller box.
That's the same thing as it's the same thing as the Comic-Con mystery box. So he makes his mystery box up, or his Bueller box, right?
I buy some of his books and some of them he donates for free.
Right, and then he puts the free ones on top of it. It's the reason why it's a gray area is because you're throwing these books into a box that is paid for. So you're still paying to get these extra bucks, and you can say they're extra, but you have to remember you're setting the value of these books. That's the whole thing. These books are not guaranteed money, so you can't really set what's free and what's not. It's just a gray area. It's absolutely can be argued. You can argue with me all the time. I would never try to change your view. I would never be like, no, you're wrong. You're absolutely wrong. They absolutely are not free, because I mean, you have to just for yourself think: is this how I want it to be? Do I accept this or don't I? And it's not wrong or it's right. I'd say it's gray, very gray.
It's in the middle. Yep.
Like if I get donated books and I just give them free to you, that's free.
That's
a free
a
book. Don't pay me anything. Take that. Yep. Those are free books.
Exactly.
And the other problem is like with these big platforms is you're getting these free books inside the karma box. It's almost like, okay, so I have to get the free books. I have to buy this book. It's almost like promotion. I have to buy this box to get it. You know what I mean? Like, this guy sent me a Hulk 181 for free. It's going to be in one of the new boxes. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, wait. So this new, this donated book I really want is going to be inside of a box.
Exactly.
Is it now a commercial for it? Like, yes, gray area. No matter who does it, it's gray.
Exactly. Well,
yep. I got a question now.
Yep, go ahead, buddy.
So City Limits, what do you think of raffles? Like, how they I'm curious.
I just won a great Super Mario RPG video game in a raffle. Okay. Number 16. It came up. I'm like, this is great. So I love Atlantic City. I love going gambling. I think it's a great time. I am all for gambling. I love it. That's the problem. Raffles, right?
Yep.
You have to know you're going to lose. Every time I enter raffle, time I enter a raffle, you'll see in the group chat, they sent a thing. Oh, guess what? Raffle time. I'm always making the same comment. I can't wait to lose my $20. I can't wait.
I know. I've seen that.
I say, run this raffle so I can start the healing process already. I mean, just they're raffles. They're absolutely gambling. It's gambling. I mean, are they good for the community? Are they bad for the community? It's like casinos. Are they good for the community? Are they bad for the community?
Exactly.
You can get really good stuff for $5. You can get or $1,000 big raffles, right? $1,000 spot. You can get a $10,000 book.
And people get really butthurt when they don't win, and I'm like, listen,
how are you expecting to win? Why do you think you're going to win? house wins.
The
Everyone
house wins every time.
House wins every time. Now the problem that people, and a lot of people do not like this. The problem is when they it's like a $50 book and a raffle adds up to $200.
Yeah.
Right? Now
Or
like,
more sometimes. Sometimes yeah.
You want to know the truth? I really don't care. I mean, you're buying this raffle. You can make this thing as much as you want. I'm not paying $300 to this person. I'm paying the $10 spot. And if I win, I still win. But they're saying now this book overall means that the value of the book is whatever. Say it was like a $400 book, but you sell the raffle for $700. That means the book value technically now is a $700 book. Raising prices, that could be argued. And the last book that sold in a raffle was $700. But listen, I mean, have you ever tried to run a raffle? I did for about
I tried once.
3 hours. I think I did for 3 hours. I'm like, are you out of your mind? I am not doing this. I'm not getting money. I'm not asking people. It's a lot of work. And for raffle people to make money, I say, go ahead, make some extra money.
The only reason I even brought it up was because we've, like me and Mylar Madness in the chat, that he's actually works at my local shop. So I'm always talking to him about stuff. And we've always brought up like raffles, what he thought. And I was curious what you thought. And it's pretty much the same thing as what he says about raffles too. So it's like, I was curious.
It's gambling. It
is straight up.
Don't do it. If you don't want it, if you don't want to lose your money, don't do raffles. You're going to lose your money. Especially these spots, like 100 spots, you're gonna lose. You're not gonna win. It's not gonna happen. And I always go into that. I'm like, oh, whatever. Here we go. I'm gonna lose. But you have that one in whatever it is chance.
I mean, if you wanna run a raffle, I can understand. Like, maybe you know what I mean. Let's just say it's a 7.5, and he wanted to upgrade to something. You know what I mean? I can see where he could use that money to upgrade the book. I understand that part. It's a little, like you said, it's like gambling, So,
any questions you like to ask, Adam?
Any questions? No. It's 2 in the morning. You think I can think of questions?
No. I asked John.
No. I'm good. He's answering stuff, and I watch his videos anyway. So
I love it. Okay, so I kind of queued you up on this, so I ask all my new guests this question, Adam. Okay, I want to put it right down the bottom. Remember this? Hold on. Okay, here's the first one. You ready? 2 questions. Here's the first one. Right there on the top. Have any inspirational thoughts or ideas for the community as a whole?
Oh, inspirational thoughts or ideas for the community. We, as a community, have got to stop paying over the price amounts for books that have not even hit the shelf yet. What I don't understand, and I don't understand this, is people have to realize if you're not paying that amount of money, if no one buys it, if these stores or people that are spiking up these books that aren't even on the shelves yet are ridiculous prices, if we don't pay those prices, they have to scale the price back down. Then we could buy them. I think as a community, so we don't get ourselves in trouble down the line, we can't keep on buying these books at these ridiculous prices before they hit the shelves. That's my thoughts on that.
Very, very nice. Okay, put a couple of things up here really quick. 1 second. Yep, look at that. Splash Page agrees. I see your point, City Limits. Yeah, good time. All right, the next question that I have that I ask everybody, the first time being on the show, and by the way, I hope you do come back sometime. Hopefully you'll be able to earlier, please.
Maybe like 12 in the afternoon, maybe.
What does thinking outside the box mean to you, brother?
Thinking outside the box. All right, so thinking outside the box is you come up with your answer, right? And then once you have your answer, you got to think, is everyone going to agree with this answer? If everyone agrees with this answer, you're not thinking outside the box. You got to make sure you have an answer that everyone is going to question, right? The more questions that you can bring to your answer, I think the better, the more on track you are for thinking outside the box. Because then now other people have to think about your answer. Thinking outside the box is making an answer that is going to make people think.
Brother, oh my God, that was awesome. Bravo.
That's basically probably my whole thing.
Now you see why, Jeff, that I asked that same question to you, because they all answer it differently. Adam, you have said that perfectly. I always say, ask questions. Ask questions. if you do not know. I don't care how stupid the question is. Ask. If you don't know, ask. That's how you learn.
Right.
I'm an old fart.
If you ever see my post, I love when people I like my post that people are they just go back and forth all day long, just ask questions. You can see my comments, 60 comments, 70 comments. Sure. And I answer every single one of them. I try to answer every single one of them. And I'm always like, listen, I'm not trying to change anyone's mind. Just keep on thinking, keep on talking amongst each other and come up with your own conclusions. I'm not here to change your mind. I can care less if you know what you think. Just, think, is this the most logical situation of events that are happening?
Right. Yeah, but you're trying to make the community to be smarter instead of being sheep. You're trying to make them be more of, smarter collectors, aware collectors than sheep.
That's what I hope to do.
Yeah.
I try to show, because it's crazy. Collecting is crazy. Imagine coming into this thing blind, you know nothing, and you're like, oh wait, hold on, this cool app can tell me how to make millions, or this can tell me the next hot book to buy, and then next thing you know, you're like, wait a minute, I'm not winning at this game at all, and you're screwed.
All right, real quick, I have something I have to drop here. We have a little intermission. So.
Oh, is it done?
My brother right down there.
Your production value is something else. This is unbelievable.
He's just being modest. He's being modest. Nobody down there. He makes those. It's so cool.
I mean, I need a cool intro. All I have is a freaking Pikachu lunchbox and my unicorn lunchbox and me. I have my phone.
You have
I got kids peeing in the background.
Did you like that?
Did you like the Pikachu intro?
Yeah.
I love that. I thought it was hysterical.
So hard. If you guys missed it, it was great. You have to watch the video to check it out.
I got now the question flew, but I'll think of it. What was it? Oh, do you got any favorite artists?
Yeah.
City Limits.
Oh, my favorite artist is Jack Kirby. I love Jack.
Okay.
Kirby. I love old school art. The new stuff is cool to look at. What do we got here?
Right.
We have a Red Hulk. Right. I compared it the other day. I compared it to special effects in movies today. They're awesome to look at, right? They're so cool. They wow you on the screen.
Right.
But if you look at an old classic movie, it took a lot of time. They had to put a lot of effort to wow you back then. And it's the same thing with comic books. These artists,
just like this.
Oh, look. Oh, I love Tales of Oh, yeah.
Issue 9, that's classic.
I mean, you had to draw it all out by hand. They were
like these.
Yeah. Old school artists.
Yeah.
And we were just talking about this earlier with it. It just seems like the colors they used back then.
Yeah.
I mean, they popped. They were.
They were human created. They're human created. They knew they had to wow them. They had one shot. They were drawing. They were putting all their effort into it. These computer images. I mean, I draw a lot. So
cool. Yeah.
Draw digitally. It's cool. It's cool to look at. It is. But it's like the human factor is almost out of it. It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
It's a weird feeling.
And the same thing with stories too. I've noticed some of the stories. I mean, I really enjoyed the, give or take, the art was Wonder Woman was but the panels and the story was a quick read. But I really enjoyed the new Wonder Woman Dead Earth series. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah, the modern. You know what's good about modern books? You can finish those off in like a day.
Quick.
You can finish the whole series. There's no writing. No. Silver Age writing. Oh my god! I'm like, jeez. I'm falling asleep with Celebration.
Try the Golden Age. Try the Golden Age. That's when you really read.
and the stories are so like they're old school. They're pure.
Yeah.
They're innocent stories. I'm like, oh, it's cool. But you know, I like Jack Kirby. He's a great artist.
Yeah, you got another artist in common with Jim Boatwright, because he's a big fan of Jack Kirby too. He did this for me. One of the guys in the community. So
look at him with his half naked vampire everywhere.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's beautiful. Yeah, it's nice, beautiful.
I think every vampire is half naked.
Yeah. Well, this one's not. This one, she got prayer hands. It's a close up of her face.
That's the newest one.
Yeah, that's the newest one.
That's why it didn't sell. No.
Yep. And then this is the female's perspective of her. So
yeah, I really like that one.
Yeah, female's perspective of her.
Yeah,
so. Female artist. Yep.
That's nice.
Yeah, so
yeah,
that's my favorite character. So can't tell.
The really good artwork. That's pretty much it. Because I mean, I bought one recently. The story, the artwork and the front cover, the artist was great. You know?
Well, don't you guys feel like that's all that people collect now?
It seems like it. Because you ask them about the story, they don't have any idea what you're talking about.
Right.
Oh, unless it's Donny Cates' story. Everyone knows Donny Cates' stories.
Yeah, but like I said, the Vampirella ones are everybody's collected because it's a Perillo cover. That's the whole thing. If it's a Perillo, that's the whole. Yeah. If it's Perillo, now Carla's right behind him. So now if it's a Carla book, Carla art piece, so it's gonna be. That's the main reason she's going up in prices anyways. It's like I can't even get a Vampirella or one a low grade for lower than 5. It's like what the.
Yeah. Who's that from? That question. That's a long question. Whose question is that? What does that say?
It's from Bueller at 7. It says, "She is the best of all of us, but being camera shy, I'm going to recently record." He's talking about it some video, I think.
He's talking about his daughter on camera.
His daughter.
Oh.
So if anybody in the chat has got any questions for our guest, you got 2 seconds.
But I think City Limits gained another friend, but because Mylar really likes his point of view and stuff.
Of course.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm always just getting friends. That's all I want. I just want to have lots of friends.
Yeah.
And that's it. No arguments.
Hey, Mylar Man has put in, I miss Fred Hembeck. I had a whole bunch of Hembeck stuff. And if you've never seen his old cartoony stuff, it was hilarious.
Yeah.
He'd make fun of everything too.
Oh my god! You should see how much. Listen, you should see how much DMs I get. Hate DMs. These CDC supporters, man, they do not like me sometimes. They get off. I'm like, guys, I don't take it personally. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm like, all right, it's not a big deal. I'm sorry. I tell them all the time, I'm sorry.
Hey, chemist, it was the CBCS hall. It's not a CGC hall.
No.
I think he's.
How many CBCS books did you get back today?
120.
120.
Oh, what
we did a 2-hour video today. I was on his show today for 2 hours going through them. It was great.
Yeah, no, I came in. I said, "Oh, Jesus, this is a lot of stuff."
Yes, it was a lot. But,
two old men, 2 old nerds.
we didn't know if we were getting the new slabs until they got delivered. So then we were like, "Oh yeah, that's awesome."
Oh, it's good. Yeah, it's good thing you get the new slabs. That's nice. The new slabs are really nice. I like how light they are. I like how they feel light.
They are. They're good.
I mean, the old slabs were light too. This is an old slab. It's not too bad. I like it too.
You know, we stopped for a second. I can't believe that he took down that video. Now, what your theory is that CGC got in contact with them, but you're allowed to do reviews. You're allowed to.
Right.
Trust me, because CGC. I mean.
So I don't know if he was a dealer for CGC. I don't know.
I don't think is he. If it's the same person we're talking about, I gotta find out. I don't think so.
But
no, because you know what? No, because Reggie Collect is a dealer for CGC, isn't he?
Yeah.
Or no?
Yeah.
And he did a review.
Yep.
Yeah, but he didn't side by side compare them.
He didn't.
No. Hold on. We got D Run saying something here. City Limit is the only guy I've ever seen get a case.
Get a cease and desist from CGC.
Really? I've heard it more than one time, to be honest.
Yeah.
Really? I thought it was the only one. I don't feel special anymore. Whatever.
Well, now,
Yes, you are.
now you need to get a DGC book. DGC slab.
Oh my God, yeah.
Listen,
It's
guys,
really-
the water balloon proof. If you stick one in the bucket, it will get wet. Just be aware
Think
of that.
about it, man. I mean, think about it. Yeah, if you put it underwater, you know, if it's rinsed in it, it's not gonna do nothing. But if you're gonna go and submerge it in water, yeah.
I
So,
was very tempted. I'm not even kidding you. I was very tempted to go live from my bathtub while taking a bath with a CGC book.
You know,
And-
maybe that's how the Newton rings get put in there. Maybe they're
Yeah.
done.
It might still happen. So don't be surprised if one day you open up your thing and then my video's there. I'm in a bathtub. I have soap all over me and a CGC book. I just want to see if it floats. We'll see what happens.
that'd be cool. That'd be interesting.
I'm gonna put it on my fans only page.
Cool. Okay. We've been going on for an hour now. I think it's time to go.
What is it?
thank-
211? Yes, 211.
Yeah, it's 11. So we've been 1 hour.
Not where he's at.
Oh, yeah.
That way, it's 1 o'clock for him.
Yeah, it's 1:15.
Yeah, David. Good job,
Yeah.
David Letterman over here.
Yeah.
I was like,
Real quick, you guys, don't go anywhere just yet. Adam, just stick around for a second. Real quick, guys, pay attention. And I want to thank all my guests that showed up tonight. Everybody that showed up in chat tonight, showed up for the show tonight. Really appreciate all your guys' support. Everybody on the panel tonight, you were all fantastic. Adam, Jeff, John,
Yeah.
thank
love
you.
you guys. Thank you very much for coming. And really quick, do you have anything coming around the corner here, John?
No, I'm
Bud?
good. Well, I mean, I've got some slabs that I got in today that are going to be going up on my store. Yeah, but
I posted his latest link underneath in the information on the bottom. So his latest
I
show-
think I'm going to do that with with every slab that I sell until I run out of these. I think I'm going to put that in with them. So
Oh, I like that.
That's cool.
Really.
Cool. For everything. There we go.
I think I'm going to throw that in with the slabs that are bought.
There you go.
I'm into it.
Adam, you got anything coming?
Yeah, about sleep. Maybe sleep. About 15 minutes. That's probably the only thing I have to go. You know what? Probably nothing. Probably something. Who the hell knows with me? It depends on how I feel tomorrow morning when I wake up. But nothing that stands out. Nothing crazy. I've been getting to graded video games. That's my new thing that I've been doing.
Yeah, I actually like that. That's pretty cool. I noticed you had video games. Do you like your video
Oh,
game collection?
It is very fun. It is addicting and fun. You know, you get a video game that you played as a child, it just brings you right back to that time. So it's a good time. But other than that, nothing huge coming up. I try to stay out of trouble.
Sure. Thank you very much, Adam. Appreciate it.
No, thank you. It was a good time.
Jeff?
Well, I got a couple things coming up. I got tomorrow at noon, or 1 o'clock. We got Silver Age Sundays with Javi, with everybody that's all the Florida boys, pretty much. And then I got Cantonese Comic Wednesdays every Wednesday. Show off my haul, and teach you guys the thing of Cantonese. And it's live now, live every Wednesday. So we can interact and it's be easier. If you guys want to learn Cantonese, you can type something in the chat. I could probably teach you how to say it in Cantonese, or I'll teach you on the next live. So, and then I got Extreme Nerd Table coming up tomorrow at 9 p.m. So that's pretty much all I got going on. Robert, what you got going on?
Good. Thank you very much, buddy. Really quick, quick shout out to everybody in the chat again. We got Candice Dirks came in the house a little late. Thank you, buddy. And we got an Australian from down under. Yo,
Simple
What's
Simon.
up? How you doing, buddy? Love your stuff. Go check him out, guys.
Yep.
He's got great content.
Yep, he does.
So again, everybody, thank you very much, community. I really appreciate your support. Everybody's links in the description down below. You'll see all 19 of them, plus all the artists that did the arts, did some of the artwork. So thank you. Hope to see you next Saturday. Peace, love, blessed be, guys. And until then, we're out of here.